And I have a feeling that this game might be decided pretty early on, depending on how some of the draws pan out. But, well, looks like we have a pretty slow start for Thijs here. Well, even the Undertaker.
No.
He gets stopped by the Zombie Chow.
Doesn't really fit in either because, well, I mean, like Mech Warper and Undertaker sometimes have conflicting synergies.
Well, it shows you the power of Zombie Chow for board control. It's one of the very few cards that can go 1-for-1 or even better than Undertaker.
Yeah. And now he's in an awkward spot.
Yeah, because now Mech Warper also gets abused.
He'll just die to Zombie Chow plus a ping. And he can't Mech Warper plus use the Mech Warper's advantage to bring out any other mechs.
Yeah, but I think you're just playing too far behind if you just keep passing.
This is true.
Not to mention you also force, so to speak, a hero power, so your opponent's playing on 2 less mana.
I was having trouble remembering what kind of mage this was from
Kitkatz. He's got Undertakers and the
It's like
Echo
Death
of
Rattle,
Medivh,
yeah.
so it's a Death Rattle mage.
He had this Paladin Sky Golems as well, so it's just like straight Death Rattles.
Yeah, just Death Rattle.
Up and down the board.
Seems to be the common theme. I like the Echo of Medivh though. It's really cool to have all that synergy to keep going on.
Yeah, it's a way to reload your hand too if you have a fast start. A lot of times if you have a fast start, it's usually good to.
Pretty sure this is
follow up.
Mirror Entity. What's so funny is if he gives him an Undertaker, then he can buff it
Yeah, yeah.
and like scoop it up and do it again, you know. He's really one funny and wacky scenarios. So like as much as Undertaker's like, well, you played a 3-mana Undertaker, it's well more importantly, I have something to deny you. Now, the problem is also Thijs doesn't know it for sure. He's testing for counterspell. He has to make sure, you know, it's not something else that he has to play around.
Mirror Entity gives you such a big tempo advantage. If you get it at the right time, especially if you get it from a mad scientist.
I mean, here especially. So powerful.
Oh man.
Oh my
Gets
goodness.
his own. Wow.
That is really devastating. Now let's see what comes
Test
off here.
first.
If this is a Millhouse Mana Storm. What?
Huh.
A Flamesong Totem? That makes like Loot Hoarder like god tier.
Yes, it does.
It's like in the future you're gonna be able to trade with anything. Also, it makes Sludge Belcher like so good because it can trade everything like so effectively.
Yeah.
Maybe like against like Azure Drake, it kills off the entire body.
You have to find removal to go in between.
Right.
And that'll take up your turn.
Well, he does have Frostbolt to eliminate the Flame Tongue, but now like Kitkatz's board is just so resilient.
In a deck that would normally play pretty fast early on has been rendered having to play pretty slow. And this is a pretty good. It's going to build up his board a little more.
Yeah. And his curve is great. He's got Echo of Medivh on some pretty strong minions. And I guess it's pretty faulty to say that this is an aggressive deck from Kitkatz. It looks like another mid-range deck.
I think it has the potential to be aggressive, just like any other Undertaker deck.
Right.
Maybe with the exception of Priest.
It just has wins sometimes that you get, right?
Yeah. But it's definitely pretty versatile.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Well, is it anything stopping you from the Sky Golem here? Is it a better play? It is your most expensive minion, not to mention the Echo of Medivh synergies.
Yeah, you could Loot Hoarder and Echo Medivh. Or you could even Echo Medivh and then just use your hero power to clean up the...
Yeah. I like the Sky Golem.
Yeah, I think this is the best play as well.
How does Tice flip this board?
It's just so hard to catch up. It feels as this mage deck.
He might have to get some. I don't even know if he can get lucky rolls on this Goblin Blast Mage. Like, he just hit 4 times the Goblin Sky Golem. He shoots that and Doomsayer comes out? I don't know. This is really hard.
No, I think Doomsayer would hurt him more than it would hurt Kitkatz at that point. What? Twice? Scavenging a hyena? Really?
It's hilarious. Oh, wait. That's really funny. He can Echo Medivh, play another hyena, and then make it a 4-3.
Whoa!
That's actually hilarious. Not that it's necessarily the best play. It's just it's just an observation.
No.
Might be better just to Lotheb here.
Yeah. Okay.
Does he want to use the coolant so he can save some damage? I
Yeah.
think so. It's really good tempo. You're already going to be doing 11 damage next turn.
And Pilot the Sky Golem, not only is it really valuable, but 6 damage is a lot. Unlike the other like 6-slot value creatures like Cairn, like it could pump in for some legit deeps.
Wrong game.
Oh yeah, sorry. Pull me on out of there.
How much damage is this? This is 11, 12. Still a little short. He's at 30 health, so he's not worried about losing a race.
He could probably play like the value game here.
As in, copy as many minions as possible. You go for
either
Juggler,
that or
Loot
just
Hoarder,
going for like
Echo
a
Medivh.
strong board play.
I like the draw the card route.
Yeah.
I think it's really powerful. I wouldn't mind just slamming down the Knife Juggler, Loot Hoarder, and then Echo Medivh and draw 4 cards. I don't know if you should attack first though to like limit your options.
What would he be trading in? I would think.
Oh man, juggle to the face. Brutal. Very brutal.
Alright, and he just goes straight face.
This deck's nuts.
Did we see Burn in this deck before? Did we see like a Fireball or anything in Kitkatz's
There has to be.
Death Rattle Mage?
It definitely feels like it has to. If you have like Undertaker, you have to have ways for it to snowball and get out of control.
Yeah.
Like Fireball and Frostbolt are such good spells on their mana spot to do spot removal to help you snowball the board. It's just really good mid-range tempo deck. Alright, so the Goblin Blast Mage draws another Sky Golem. What's going on here? Is his last hope to see what the Sky Golem will roll? Well, he can freeze it. Yeah, he could freeze it and then try to win back the board that way.
Yeah. I think that's the best, because he can clear the Lotheb here and clear the Knife Juggler with hero power. Because when the game is this like volatile, I guess at this point, you don't want to have him get a game-changing creature from the Paladin Sky Golem that might win him the game.
Right. At least he's forcing trades though, like so that way Kitkatz isn't gonna be losing a race. Wow, he takes damage, that way he can play the last remaining minions. It's tough.
It's sort of what you have to do though. You're on a very
You're in a very short time span.
Yeah.
Lotheb number 2 though, right?
Yeah.
Is this time for Lotheb number 2? No, actually it's time for Leopard Gnome.
Yeah, Leopard Gnome would
is
just
like
put him on
a way
turn.
to win.
Yeah. He can actually win this turn if
He
he
juggles 2 to the face.
juggles 2 to the face
That's insane.
and then kills his own Leopard Gnome. Would he have mana for that? Yeah, he would.
Well, most important thing is that he pings the opponent right now and plays Leopard Gnome.
Yeah.
That leaves him 6 mana to do whatever he wants.
Actually would like Lotheb more. Okay. This is a little bit safer.
4, 9, 13, 15. Yeah, it is the safer route. Well, that's kind of awkward. Tice has some cards that cost a little bit more, some cards that cost a little bit less. Whatever spare part he gets might not even help that much unless it's a freezing one.
6 mana spare part.
Well, he might as well use his Frostbolt then.
Yeah.
What is this Frostbolt going to give him? Usually an average of 8 stats.
Oh,
That's the best case scenario,
yes,
actually.
it is. Yeah, he can actually clear the board.
Yeah, this is partially why I thought setting up the Leopard Gnome was a much stronger play. If you play Leopard Gnome, Loth had been pinged the face.
He would have won.
Right. It's just like there's nothing he can really do because other than silencing the Leopard Gnome.
Yeah.
Either way, he's still in a really dominant spot.
Yeah.
It's just that the game has slowed down a lot.
He can just do the same thing again this turn.
Ha 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 ha.
And this guy gone for good measure. Well, that
Well,
should be.
I guess
Kitkatz.
Nimsh is happy somewhere to see Leopard Gnomes be able to be used like that.
Yes, he is.
2, 4, 6.
Not enough.
That's 10, 11 damage. Yeah, looks like he's going to fall short by a pretty considerable margin. And Kitkatz is going to take game number 1.
It's always fun to see what they get.
Jeez.
Jeeves.
I guess there's ways for you to see what other cards you want, but there's no need to reveal it.
Yeah. I don't think there's any 4 mana cards that can backfire. Similar to Doomsayer.
Let's see. Handlock, stuff like that. He's really confident in matchups. The only confident matchup that I think he's not really super in love with is Druid.
I think Druid has historically been the bane of Control Warrior. He's one of the most experienced Warrior players.
Oh yeah,
in the world.
I mean, Kitkatz is one of the iconic Warrior players, pioneering it back when it was still just a quote unplayable class because people just played as a mid-range aggro deck.
Way before Show or any of the other popular Control Warrior streamers have been playing Control Warrior.
Yeah, so like back in the day, the Warrior players were Kitkatz, Dark Wannix, and Tides of Time. Those are the 3 like Warrior players who were like really pushing the envelope to make sure that like it was getting innovated, developed, and people were still playing Hunter, and Kitkatz was still finding ways to destroy it. Like, do you remember for a while people were playing Core Chron Elites? It's because Kitkatz realized that that answered Animal Companion perfectly and didn't lose you the board tempo.
Yeah.
So it's like things like that.
For a long time, people were playing Corcoran Elites.
Right. Now the big problem is, for a while, Kitkatz was getting a lot of hype, and people were like, "Yeah, like it's great that he's so good with Warrior, but like, how come he doesn't win anything, or he's not doing well tournament-wise?" And for some reason, he always had he had some excuse of why it wasn't working out. But I think the bottom line was he wasn't. Like he wasn't motivated to win as much as he wanted to. He's already gotten some of like popularity. He was telling me on the side that like he didn't necessarily care too much about winning. He just wanted to be like having fun, playing a lot of Hearthstone, knowing friends. Now he's pretty motivated. He's streaming a lot more. He's still playing a lot of Warrior. He's gonna deal with this low tech pretty effectively. And he's got a pretty good hand too. You see that first big game Hunter, there's plenty more where that came from. He's also lined up his removal pretty well, so that way he can answer any threat that comes out next.
Yeah. Also has threats himself, and Dr. Boom is one of those threats that you want earlier rather than later. Because you want it to get the removal out of the way, so that way when later on in the game you're playing the Alexstrasza, the Ragnaros, the Grommash, then they're going to be a lot safer.
That's rough. No real threats on turn 6 for Handlock, and then Warrior takes initiative. This is a very scary turning point in the matchup, where if Warrior can start posturing with big threats, and then you keep responding with like the Siphon Soul, and you're not leveraging the board, then they're going to be in a position where they threaten to kill you from every point on, and you have to like play around the Grommash, but even if he doesn't have it, you have to be afraid of it.
Yeah, usually it's the other way around, where the the handlock is the one playing the big threats, and the warriors usually spending their turns trying to remove it.
Right. So that's why this Ancient Watcher is actually doing like huge stuff right now. Does Kitkatz feel comfortable enough just to dump out his Dr. Boom here? I mean, he's got the coin for this sole purpose if he wants to. Alright, Sludge Belcher is a little bit more of a passive thing. I can definitely get behind it.
Well,
there we go. Now we're
finally gets a threat here.
Yeah, the first threat you always expect to be dealt with. In fact, the first 3 or 4 threats you expect to be dealt with pretty easily by a warrior. It's always like, it's always about how you navigate through the matchup by feeling everything out. Like, oh, how much removal does he have? Is he using Execute when it's like a clear position he should have used Shield Slam?
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
Sneed's Shredder.
This is so greedy. He's got Sneasel, Shredder, and Kael'Thuzad.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think Kitkatz is definitely have a big edge in this matchup specifically.
Sneed is one of my favorite cards in the game, but it's so hard to fit it into a deck. Because it's so slow,
Why
it's
not
so
a deck
greedy.
that runs a bunch of legendaries? Like Total Biscuit's 30 legendary Druid deck.
Just don't feel like that's
How about Control Warrior?
as viable. I wouldn't put that in my Control Warrior
Oh, Novice Engineer.
deck. And we both know how sacred my Control Warrior deck is.
Yeah.
One of our producers, or our technical director, was saying some hateful words about Control Warrior on the break.
What did he say?
I cried. I went in the corner and I cried.
What did he say about Control Warrior?
Just really mean things. He said Fatigue Mage was like Control Warrior. Dan, that's not anything like Control Warrior.
See, it's not so fun, is it? To be on the
No.
other side of things. Tice picking up Ancient Watcher, not that appealing. I mean, at the same time, he's not under any pressure. The real danger, or the annoyance, is that anything that he puts out is in danger of getting destroyed by the second charge of Deathbite.
Yeah.
And it scales to 6 damage too, because that Novice Engineer is also that 1 point, so you're going to have to spend your Defender of Argus killing it, which means... Oh. Oh, I was expecting him to trade that. But okay. That's clever, so that way the Deathbite is going to force him to kill off anyways.
He's having trouble like drawing into threats. He's still got one Twilight Drake, both Mountain Giants still left in this deck.
Yeah, but Kitkatz in a really comfortable spot. Just going to draw some cards. Gain some more armor back. He did use both of his Shield Slams. He's got a Spellbreaker as well. Whoa. I have a feeling he plays no Whirlwinds in his deck whatsoever.
Yeah.
And like he scaled back a lot of the early game stuff. Some people are playing like a Cleave, a Whirlwind, maybe even like 2 Whirlwinds. But I think he's cut them all.
I think
for
Kitkatz
late game power.
Kitkatz is one of the first players to start cutting shield blocks as well.
I found that shield blocks sometimes are clunky. And one time when I was building a deck, I think this was like 2 seasons ago, where I was playing Warrior to Legend, I accidentally forgot shield block. When GVG first came out, and then I didn't notice. I still just won a lot of games.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, Shield Maiden's still just really good.
Exactly, yeah. You have so many ways to gain armor otherwise.
It's like a little overkill, right?
Yeah, usually you can gain card advantage enough with just Acolytes of Pain. If you can get 1 or 2 draws from them.
He opts for Sylvanas over a Dr. Boom. I think he's really trying to exhaust all kinds of resources before he tosses out his big legendaries. He's like trying to feel out Siphon Souls and what kinds of removal he has. And this specifically, Sylvanas, he's expecting to get Ironbeak Owl.
Yeah, and since he's already seen 1 Ironbeak Owl, if he sees the second, it's pretty much free game to play the Sneeds, because even if a Sneeds gets Siphon Souled, which is...
It might pop out another Sneeds.
It might pop out another Sneeds, and we might just be in for an endless loop of Sneeds Old Shredders.
So that needs to happen, because that needs to make the Trolled and highlight video.
Yes. I don't think we've made it yet with Legendary Series.
That's a shame. There's some really fun moments.
Yeah. Like the, maybe the phrase Shaman from yesterday. Ancestral's Call. Who knows?
Man. He's going to deal with Sylvanas by giving him an Ancient Watcher.
Oh,
Little
no.
does he know there's an activation
Spellbreaker,
tool.
what?
Well, actually, realistically, you probably keep Spellbreaker for the Twilight
Yeah.
Drake. But what's amusing is that that's another body to win the brawl. You know, that's like another thing in case you know, he wants to silence it. Or
Gives him the
if
option
his
to
opponent
push
plays
damage.
Dr. Boom, it's a body to absorb damage.
Oh, man. A Sunfear Protector on an empty board because he just doesn't have anything else to do. He wants to be able to challenge the Armorsmith. So he can't, like, hide the Armorsmith. Well, no, he would still be able to hide the Armorsmith. Well, here comes the Sneeds.
Man, Sneeds is so cool and so fun to play with. Lots of cool stuff can come out of here. Now, I've had some pretty lackluster results. I think earlier today I was playing Sneeds and a 2-2 Van Cleave popped out. I was like, that was probably like the second or third worst it could have been.
Yeah, the only time I've ever gotten Sneeds to be killed and play Legendary, I got Nat Pagel.
It's still better than like a Laura Walker Cho.
I guess so.
Laura Walker Cho surprisingly would be so effective against Handlock. No way!
Oh my god!
That is
Oh,
the
no!
worst outcome.
There's gonna be another Sneeds!
KT will revive Sneasel
Wow!
Shredder at the end of the turn. Kitkatz can't even contain his laugh. He's
Oh
He's
my
turning
goodness!
red.
He's spamming sorry emotes! That's crazy!
You said that we weren't going to make a Trolden video.
The endless cycle
Foolish doubter.
of Sneeds. Oh no! Not only did he use a Siphon Soul for that, but he has to deal with the
Oh my
Sneeds again
goodness.
and a KT. Oh,
man.
jeez.
6, 12, 16 damage right now. 18 damage with the Cruel Taskmaster. He's 3 damage off lethal right now. What a wacky, wacky game. Actually, what's so funny is, just like like how much armor he's gonna gain too, because the Armorsmith keeps reviving. Like,
That's
there's no
absurd.
incentive not to attack and refresh your health.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure Tice isn't gonna win this game.
No.
And Kitkatz has done a great job to play above the health too perfectly. This is why he's known as the Warrior God.
Oh no, he could BGH the Sneeds. Nope. Well,
How
no.
do we get ourselves into these situations? Man,
I don't know.
too good. I think Tice should just BGH that Sneeds and get another KT.
Yeah, just to
If
Just to
that
tickle our
happens,
fancies.
TJ will eat his shirt on stream.
I didn't sign up for this.
Oh Or
And in that manner as well.
yeah, the delivery of it was great.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, we should just go for that BGH and just make another kill this on.
And the funny thing was, like, in all that chaos, Tice just like gives it a couple seconds.
The moment that
And then
happened, I'm
concedes.
like, this is why I can't believe. Like, I refuse to believe that someone from Blizzard isn't watching this game and just being like, it's just messing with people. And be like, yeah, let's just make that happen right there.
Let me just type in this code real quick
Alright,
and
alright.
more KTs.
So, the new game has begun. And, unfortunately, Tice lost out an opportunity to play turn 1 Zombie Chow to control the board, but he still has a pretty reasonable hand.
He can get his shade rolling here, and well, actually, yeah, I think it'd be more beneficial here to put out a 4-drop, because then if he coins out a shade here, his innervate would be pretty dead, and he wouldn't have a really great play for the next turn. So this way, he puts out a 4-drop, still has a turn 3 play for next turn with the shade of Naxxramas. So as good as it feels to get the the shade out as early as possible. You gotta respect the curve.
I think so too. All right, Tice, this is not your series, man. I'm just so sorry. Either that or Kitkatz has officially made a pact with the Satan of mech. Like, I don't even understand how this has happened, right?
I don't know.
He sold his soul to the mech devil.
I don't know. That is rough. That is very rough. That's not quite as bad as the beating, the RNG beating that he took in the last game, but
Not as bad, but
that's just icing on the cake.
yeah. Unfortunately, he can't even juggle to try and kill off this Shade of Naxxramas. That's usually one way you can deal with this Paladin.
He had the opportunity to consecrate, but
It's just not very powerful.
Yep.
You give up initiative again. Kitkatz is in a really dominant spot again. That Pilot Shredder single-handedly took out 2 cards.
yeah.
And 2 of the most powerful early game cards that's existed in Paladin.
Oh yeah, that's really true. Light's Justice value still lives on, but
Right, but I mean, effectively, like those are the cards that you're gonna struggle to come back from.
Black Knight.
Yeah, coin Black Knight here is pretty good. There's not many targets, I think, other than Sludge Belcher and the Defender of Argus. You're not going to usually Black Knight Tyrion because you're trying to silence it.
Yeah. Because usually at that point, you just want to try and deny the Ashbreaker value as much as possible. Paladin Shredder's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a draw for sure. But he's losing so much on the tempo play. Druid's going to be in a really dominant spot.
I think at that stage, though, you want something like a creature that's going to stick on the board long enough for you to be able to gain back some of the control.
So Kitkat's next turn can Wild Growth into a Force of Nature Saboteur the following turn.
And he already has the Shade on the board, which is just going to keep going up.
Yep. In fact, he probably should attack with the Shade right now.
Yeah, just to play around well, to cash in on some of the value now.
Right. Well, I mean, also
case
to
of
just get him closer to death.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if he gets silenced or Elder Peacekeeper, he's still another body. Now, actually, Tice draws the answer to this. He needs to silence that, consecrate and kill this off. Otherwise, the Shade's just going to get out of control. He could try going for Quartermaster as well, but that just feels like you're not going to... You're just... Actually, Quartermaster might be okay too, but I think you'd rather go for the Consecration.
Yep. And you always check first with the Powder Shredder, because there's a lot of 2-drops that have huge potential to change the way you play your turn.
I don't think you want to give up the 1/1 that easily.
Oh no, not at all. Because if the only card you have in your hand is Quartermaster, you want to protect those 1/1s with your life.
Well, this is interesting. Kitkatz has a lot of damage sitting here.
What to do?
What do you think you should do here, TJ? I think maybe. Do you think you should even bother Wild Growthing?
No.
Think it's better off as a card draw?
Yep. His hand's pretty bad right now. Pretty bad in the case where you don't have a board and your opponent is not in combo range. I mean, he can, yeah, no, it's... Because the only purpose Wild Growth would serve here,
Just to gain 3 mana?
Yeah. But you don't really have anything to do on this turn with it, and you're only going to gain the benefit of it from essentially 1 turn. And unless you have a big play on that turn, it's useless.
Okay. Well, this isn't really going to work out. Oh, that's interesting.
Huh.
Captain Greenskin. Turn it into a 2/2 weapon, I guess.
Captain Greenskin is actually a pretty good card in Paladin.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most underrated legendaries I think out there, or cards in general. It's surprisingly super effective against a lot of like the mid-range decks because of the damage it can do. But
Yeah. Like Captain Greenskin could turn a True Silver Champion into 5 attack, which would like more effectively take out Sledge Belchers or Shield Maidens. Would turn a Light's Justice into 2 attack.
wow, it turns True Silver Champion into a 5/3. Whew. That's some pretty good pressure, but he has to also kill this the Spectre Knight for the threat of the combo.
He could just ooh. Oh no, he can do it with this face. Because he'll heal up out of range.
Drink up, BR. Oh, he takes the damage. Okay. I guess
Yeah.
he's okay with that, so he keeps the guys alive.
Yeah, he's still even out of range of Force of Nature's Savage Roar.
I mean, he is, but he isn't.
Innervate.
Because Kitkatz could put him at 14 this turn. And, like, get ready to the combo next turn, and his opponent... Oh, I guess... No, he heals him to choose over. My apologies.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, the question here is, do you try and cycle by drawing from 1?
Yeah, I feel like that's definitely a better option. You might even pick up like a way to do damage guarantee, like Druid the Claw.
What?
How much damage is on the other end? 10, 15, 16 damage after you Wrath.
He's at 17 health, so all he would have to pick up would be 2 more points of damage. Granted, he hero powers this turn.
That is pretty sticky.
Yeah.
It's too obvious to just Savage Roar the face, right?
Way too obvious.
Way too obvious.
Time waits for no
But
one.
if you just play Pilot Shredder, you're not going to...
Well, he'd still be on
Like,
an
you're not going to guarantee a kill.
he'd still be on an Innervate draw to win the game.
I mean, he's also on a draw to die, too.
That's very true.
Yeah, the Savage Roar for 2 damage is a little too obvious. Plus, it doesn't even give you the guarantee because he can heal 2 back and put you out of range.
Oh, well, that's it.
Wow, that's lethal. Thijs is going to win game 3 and send it to the Blind Pig stage. And you know what? After what we just witnessed in game 2 and the Explosion Sheep in game 3, I think he deserved this one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Thijs gave Kitkatz an opening. Oh, man. Oh, no. Thijs actually missed lethal. Yikes. And if Kitkatz draws Innervate... Oh, never mind. Oh, he has 2 combos. Okay. Yeah, so
Yeah.
if he drew Innervate, he still could have won.
Yeah, that's what.
Can he survive at all if he draws Swipe with the Wild Growth? I don't think so.
No.
What about Force of Nature Savage Roar to clear?
No, he's still dead. There's still a 5 attack True Silver Champion.
Yeah, that's true. That
So-
True Silver Champion, Captain Greenstone, actually can end up being really clutch.
Yeah.
I can see.
Okay. Well, despite missing it, still takes the victory. But that was close. I mean, Innervate draw to win. Those are things that you can't really afford to do if you want to take a series like that. But he gets another.
The team is definitely one of the teams that people will be looking out for in the future LAN season.
A lot of great minds on that team.
Yeah, brilliant players. Thijs has great BM. You know, pretending like he missed lethal just to give his opponent a false shred of hope.
Saying, I don't care if you draw Innervate. You could have lethal, but doesn't even matter. Never miss an opportunity for good old-fashioned BM.
Yeah. So Undertaker has been stopped, and thankfully so. Otherwise, this game could have ended up being pretty one-sided based off of how the hand looks.
Yeah. He's okay with Knife Juggler dying here because it's... Well, actually, no, not really.
Yeah, it's not that he's okay with it, but he recognizes that it's important so that way he can gain some traction on the board here.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a weird hand, though, because if he... Since he has Muster for Battle plus True Silver Champion, if he Muster for Battles turn 3 and then faces a situation in turn 4 where he's got a True Silver to remove a bigger creature, he's wasting a lot of the value of Muster for Battle. So I actually wouldn't hate Outdoor Peacekeeper here, even on a Zombie Chow, just for that reason.
What's so funny is because Kitkatz drew like awkward mid-range cards like Mirror Entity and Sky Golem, he sort of wants to keep hero powering and maximizing his card usage. And so he's getting a lot of mileage when normally the deck wants to start a little bit quicker, but he doesn't mind this scenario.
And getting the Zombie Chows out of the way earlier as well.
Yeah, I mean
to maximize value.
To get this, the semblance of board control, because pretty soon, like Zombie Chow is just so useless in the face of a Sludge Belcher or even like a Pilot Shredder. It just doesn't do anything.
True. He's thinking of whether or not he wants to play the Clockwork Gnome, but he knows that it's just going to be fodder for either the weapon or the 1/1. So he holds off on it.
Well, if the True Silver comes out, then it ends up being a... Well, it might influence whether or not the True Silver comes out. We'll see. Maybe Thijs feels inclined to maximize his hero power as well. It's not as easy a decision as it may seem.
No.
The Peacekeeper, it's not so much that you want to reduce the attack of Zombie Chows, but you value the board because you can have the Peacekeeper challenge the Zombie Chow as well as whatever comes out most likely.
Yeah, it's
His
the body
big
that
fear
you're
is
worried
Sludge
about.
Belcher, though.
Yeah. Oh, Sludge Belcher would be pretty devastating. And he decides to try and maximize hero power instead. Oh, Mirror Entity.
Yeah, Mirror Entity's pretty nice here.
But he already had one, so the second draw is not the greatest in that situation.
It's giving him exactly average value, 3/3 minion. Unless gives a Captain Greenskin. Which is also funny because Kitkatz won't have a weapon to buff. So Echo on that minion is a little useless.
Yeah, it's on curve. Ideally you want to have it for True Silver Champion, but
Well,
having it for a weapon in general is pretty good.
What this does do is give him initiative on the board for Skylit Golem.
Oh yeah, that's true as well.
Because he's going to be able to trade and play the Sky Golem.
And if he equips True Silver Champion to get rid of the Sky Golem, not only is he wasting the value of the Captain Greenskin, but you also have to deal with that second body as well.
Sure. And then now he actually has like a pretty strong anchor for a good Echo target. Well, actually, hold on. Sylvanas definitely complicates things.
Yeah, since the Paladin Sky Golem was played first, Death Rattle trigger first, and if it trades in, then the Sylvanas would steal whatever would come out from the Sky Golem.
Might it be best to load up and then trade, or just ignore it? Because if you play Knife Juggler and then Clockwork Gnome, you can still Echo Medivh and then trade it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is great. If it steals a Clockwork Gnome, that's the best case. Oh, it's definitely not the one he wanted.
Yeah, but
Oh,
Silvermoon Guardian is
definitely now not the one he didn't want it.
yeah
Muster for Battle off the top is pretty
big.
big because now he can juggle a ton.
Yeah, a lot of times Knife Juggler won't live another turn, but since he stole it.
All right, so Peacekeeper first to evaluate the juggle.
Let's see what he gets. Ah. Face not what he wants here. But still has 3 juggles. Oh, gonna go face. Already wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too bad. He just wanted one to hit the Divine Shield because he knew what he was gonna trade it in for the Knife Juggler anyway.
Right.
But at least he gets one to face in that situation.
Okay, so 2 of this mana would be dedicated to killing that knife juggler. So then how do you want to spend the 6? Do you want to drop this bigger minion? But then if Quartermaster comes out, are you in trouble? Otherwise, the only other option is to go knife jugglers
I think you're in
and
trouble.
pilot shredder.
I think you're in trouble either way. But Knife Juggler, like if Quartermaster comes out next turn, he's gonna get at least 2 buffed no matter what,
I wonder.
or at least 3 most likely because of the hero power that he'll actually use on that turn. So if you want to or minimize the potential of Quartermaster, then ping Knife Juggler and Pilot Shredder would be the best because you have a chance of killing off one of the 1/1s.
What
But
to
Paladin
do,
Shredder is
what to do.
good too. Now,
Time runs out on
did he run any other secrets besides Mirror Entity that we saw?
I don't think so. I haven't seen counterspell or oh, a duplicate.
Okay. So Mad Scientist will have some value. Well, it hits
Okay.
the face, so.
Well, there is no Quartermaster. Is this a time to drop Tyrion? It might be. Actually, I think Tyrion is pretty strong here.
Yeah.
So that way you can start controlling the board, start pushing. Because like Tyrion's now your win condition to do a lot of damage. He's got 15 damage just in his weapon, plus, you know, of course, the Divine Shield is 6 damage too.
For sure, yeah. Ho ho! It's cool, but it's dead.
Right.
And I don't think this deck ran any type of hard removal, like Polymorph.
Oh my.
Yeah. Archmage Antonidas,
Yeah. Well, he's got the Sky Golem.
yeah, that
If the
challenges
Clockwork,
it.
no, might give him like might give him a 1 spell, like stealth for Archmage Antonidas.
That's very true.
Alright, well, that Cult Master is interesting, because now he can trade into the Sky Golem, draw a card, use the weapon, kill off most likely whatever comes out, unless it's a Mogashan Warden. He actually is like in a scenario where he needs more weapon hits.
Or he could just
so I
protect
guess
his
he's just gonna
Tyrion.
use Peacekeeper.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, it could easily turn to something else too. We'll see.
Yeah, I think this is. I mean, he's in a pretty good position right now. He has to know, at least getting a feel for the deck before that. There's not very many ways for this mage deck to deal with Tyrion besides just like a fireball.
Right.
And even then, Ashbringer is going to most likely win you the game over the course of the 3 turns.
Oh,
Huh?
that's interesting. I haven't seen that card in a while, and it's also going to become a 5/5.
How convenient!
It's actually kind of funny.
And it demands to be dealt with as well.
So, that card that just rolled out, for anybody who doesn't know, is an Ethereal Arcanist. And what it does is, it gains +2/+2 if you control a secret at the end of the turn. And that's a card that's, like, pretty good in Arena if you can get it to work, at least before GVG, because, you know, some secrets like Counterspell and whatnot, or even Spellbender, which was a really good card in Arena.
Yeah.
People wouldn't, like, trigger it immediately, so you could get, like, a 5/5 value for 4. It's pretty good.
There was actually some variations of Secret Mage a little bit prior to GVG that were actually running it. Because sometimes you can get into a situation where, especially with Mirror Entity, if they don't have a spell to be able to deal with it, then
Right.
you can use Mirror Entity to answer your opponent's Mirror Entity and just snowball secrets.
I
That's a
think
really great
This is
clear.
going to duplicate the 2 ones, the Loot Hoarders. Yeah, this is also a sequence error from Kitkatz. Or maybe he wanted that, I don't know.
I think he might have just wanted that. Because the other options were Mad Scientist or...
Sorry. Hearthstone's a fun... if you can't laugh while you watch a Hearthstone game, like, I don't even want to cast it if if you're not allowed to laugh. It's just funny. Oh! It's useless. He's still
He's dead anyway.
And this series is going to be tied up.
Uh-oh. Kitkatz now.
A comeback is very real.
And momentum is actually a big deal in these matches. Decision making can be influenced by your feel of the overall.
Wow. The 2% time does happen, and 2% again. Gosh.
Is it 2%? Did you settle on that?
No, it's a little under 2%, I think.
Okay.
I think someone messaged me like it was like 48 or like 50 legendaries in the game, like close to there. Fiery War Axe right on time for Kitkatz, perfect. And Tice, of course, is going to be pretty sad to see his aggression shut down, but you know, there's still muster for battle. Do you want to use muster for battle or Fiery War Axe on a lowly 1/1 minion?
You don't want to, but sometimes you have to. And it's a pretty good curve out for him as well, because he can muster for battle this turn, shielded mini bot plus hero power next turn, and then if he manages to keep some of those 1/1s alive, he's got a nice quartermaster
Old
play.
Faithful. He's old Strider.
There you are, you guy, you silly guy, you Sneeds.
Yeah, I think the way you should look at this axe, this weapon, as much as you're not getting the value, it's about controlling the board early enough. It's the same way you approach the matchup versus Shaman. You need the weapons, even if it's just to kill totems. You need it so that way your higher quality minions can face up stronger against the weaker minions.
Yeah.
Eventually, like Pilot Shredder will naturally 2 for 1. Shield Maiden will naturally 2 for 1. It's very difficult for them to grab full value on a card because of the value at which the card's yours is at usually.
It's funny because he's putting it down to 1 health with the weapon and sort of forcing him into a situation where you can get maximum value by like attacking into the...
He's making it pay it forward. Like,
Yeah.
by paying the health now, it's like he can put him in a situation where he might be able to even collect the card for free with the Light's Justice.
Yeah. And that's a pretty fantastic way to deal with a Piloted Shredder there. Doesn't really affect his board state that much. But Death's
That's
Bite
a really good card.
comes right on time here. Actually, Quartermaster could make it a
Right,
bit
it will be
problematic.
because he targeted down the 2/2.
Yeah.
To arms, men.
And
A lot of damage.
yeah, he's already sitting at 12 health, or 13 health. Well, if he attacks, yeah. Okay, he has True Silver Champion, so.
He's got Shield Maiden too, which actually allows him to remove some of this here. On the flip side, he also can remove by going for silence on one of the tokens, and then he attacks with the 2/5 and then executes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways to do this turn, actually. Okay, so he wants to play Shield Maiden so he can gain maximum armor.
And Shield Slam. Wait.
I'm guessing your Shield Slam means the recruit, so that way it can't get buffed by Quartermaster again.
Yeah. I think he's debating in his head whether or not he wants to use the Shield Slam or the Execute.
Ah, yeah, that's a good point.
In this situation, I think Shield Slam is...
It's the fact that you don't have an Execute activator.
Yeah. A lot of the time, Shield Slam can be better because you're not guaranteed to have armor. But that's only if you have an Execute, something to be able to proc Execute in your hand for the Execute. So that time seems like Execute is the better choice.
Let me
Well, it's going to be tough for Kitkatz next turn if he doesn't pick up something to do. The big limiting factor has been draws, but one of the better cards you could pick up against this True Silver Champion is the Harrison Jones. Meanwhile, Tice is looking for a way to potentially end the game very soon. Do you think Is there any
Bolts.
chance he ignores? Just go straight for it. There's no way, right?
I think.
I think it's smarter to take out what's on board.
Yeah.
I must move quickly.
You try to be cute and attack the face here.
It's hard to say. With Captain's Greenskin, it might make your decision making a little bit more difficult, and it might change what you're planning. Because he's running out of gas, and if you allow a warrior a chance to stabilize, sometimes it can come back to bite you. But when you see a BGH being played on an empty board and an armor up, that's a pretty good indication that whatever the warrior has in his hand, it's either very situational or very, very slow.
Alright, well, Sylvanas draw for Thijs. It's more valuable as a 5/5 body than anything else right now.
Mhm.
In fact, I think Captain Greenskin is probably best bet here. I like Captain Greenskin because it keeps the board momentum. You don't lose your weapon fully.
And you want to keep the pressure on right now.
Yeah.
And you want to collect value from Captain Greenskin while you can.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's effectively as if Captain Green said destroyed, like, the big game hunter. Oh, I wasn't considering this, just straight up doing damage. He's at 13 health, he's got 9 points of burst. Nah.
But Captain Green, yeah. He's gonna has to use his weapon charge to clear off the big game hunter. It also challenges the Captain Greenskin.
Yep. So then, if Kitkatz just drops the Sneasel Shredder, he's actually dead. I believe. He's at 13 health. That's 12. Yep.
Ooh.
He needs to shield slam this and drops probably Sylvanas.
Yep.
I have no time.
It's a good heads-up play.
So then, the best bet for Thijs here. How much damage does he have? He's got 9, 11 damage. He's 2 damage off. Is he trying to find a way to potentially kill with Cult Master? This is so close. Thijs is almost going to make a 3-0 comeback. That'd be a second of the day, because
Yeah.
Savitz did that too.
How's he gonna manage this though? I mean, he can cash in on these Silverhand recruits, but Harrison Jones is actually a really good draw.
Well, until there's a weapon. I suppose Thijs is okay just giving the Cult Master
Okay.
over. As long as he can put like the Pilot Shredder afterwards, I suppose.
Consecrate.
Okay, that makes sense. So he clears it. Still, like, there's a moment of opportunity though, because it's still just a zombie chow.
Yeah, and the zombie chow being played on the board
Right.
gives you a little bit of a he has at least one shield block. Gives you a little bit of sigh of relief because you can always
Now it's like Sneasel Shredder. Oh, but now he's got Sylvanas, and then he's got the silence for the Sylvanas. So there's an opportunity to come back here for Kitkatz for sure.
definitely.
Because I almost foresee that Thijs will have to drop the Sylvanas, 'cause that's how you answer
I
it.
have no time for games.
And then that shield block might be the key here.
Yeah, because he's got sort of that zombie chow, that 5 health heal, like invested on the board.
Yeah, he might pick up another weapon. Like if he picks up the Fiery War Axe, that's actually really clutch.
Yeah, because then he'd be able to heal a little bit of extra to get out of range of a potential lethal. And he even has enough to armor up here, so he's 6 damage on board. He's at 11 health.
Yeah. I don't think... Is there another Truce over in the deck? No, he's 1 damage off lethal right now.
Wow.
Very risky, but you know what? I like this play from Kitkatz. He realizes he has to make a power play on board. He can't be too defensive. Shield block would have meant just simply gaining a little bit of life versus this is also life on the board. Imagine if he gets down to 1 and then Alex Straza pop back up. Oh, and by the way, you might die next turn, Paladin, if you don't do anything.
Yeah.
That was a very advanced play from Kitkatz just now.
And it's tough to clear the Sneeds off the board because you might just replace it with more power.
Like a Ragnaros.
Yeah,
I mean, you have a big game hunter in hand.
that's true.
It's tough. It's a tough call. What's it gonna be off this Sneasel Shredder?
I think you need to bank on it being an
For Kitkatz, you just have to hope it's not 7 attack.
yeah.
Any predictions? How about another Sneasel Shredder? Can we do it?
The Kel'Thuzad would
Can we
just-
do it, Reddit?
I would cry. Oh no. Here we go. Oh! No way! No, you have to be kidding me. No. No way. No way. I'm done. I quit. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm going home. I'll see you later, Frodan.
Oh my god. I think that's lethal.
Oh my god.
I think Tijs just got KT'd out of this game. Oh my god.
No way.
The production
No
the production
way.
crew has actually just got up and left.
No way.
This guy's deck is